Today we are going to make a dreamy, creamy, delicious Alfredo sauce that happens to be dairy-free, meat-free, and definitely not flavor-free. We have our red bell pepper, and I've got a little bit of freshness with the lemon, shiitake mushroom, which is very meaty, unroasted, unsalted, I eat raw, and you don't want that extra flavor. I have tried it with that extra flavor because that's all I had at the time, and it really mucked up the recipe. So go with raw. You will use these cashews for so many things, not to mention they're a delicious snack on their own. If you haven't tried it, try it. You might be surprised and delighted. The star of this dish, for me, minus the shrooms, minus the cream, minus the pasta, is this herb right here. This is tarragon. And I get really excited when I see this in California because I don't often see this in the grocery store. So I saw this in the, you've got your big pan for your pasta, you've got another pan to saute your shrooms, and then you've got a blender to make the sauce. Now, a lot of people will say with cashews, you've got to soak them overnight, you've got to cook them in boiling water. I have tried all of the above. With a high-speed blender, you don't have to do any of that. Let's start prepping our food. We've got some water here. Get some salt in here. While that is boiling, we are going to make our sauce, and then we're going to start cooking down our sauce. We're also going to chop some of these shrooms, chop a little bit of this, and then we will be done. Let's get organized. First, I need my hair clip. Okay, so pasta is off to the side. We got our blender. To our blender, let's start with adding 3.5 cups of water. It's gonna look like a ton, I agree, but just trust the process. You've got 1.5 cups of cashews. This is 1 cup. Just kind of eyeball it. To this, we're gonna add 5 cloves of garlic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, that might seem like a lot to you. To a Korean, that is definitely not a lot. And just pop it into the blender. We've got a little bit of nooch, about a 1/3 cup. That's gonna give it a little bit of a cheesy effect. A couple teaspoons of salt. And then we're just gonna get this onto our blender and blend away. Now you might be thinking like, it's not like getting it to a creamy consistency. Again, trust the process, just keep blending. Now we need a little soup pot for our sauce. And it's actually really, really watery. Don't worry, because as we warm this up, it's going to thicken, it's going to cook the garlic, and it's also delicious. If you smell it right now, you might be like, dude, that does not smell like Alfredo sauce. Trust me, okay? Trust me, it's gonna be good. Keep it on low heat, and in the time that our pasta is cooked and everything else is prepped, this is gonna be nice and beautiful. If a thick film kind of forms at the top, just mix it in. Get that film back in there. You can skim it off if you'd like, but it's just sauce. So, okay, in the meantime, let's rinse this out. Here's a cool hack for any of you who do not like cleaning your blender. You got your blender, you got a little dish soap, put some hot water in there, nice and soapy water, put your lid on, get it back on your blender, and blend it away. Ta-da! Clean blender. Okay, so our water is boiling rapidly. So while this is cooking down, we're gonna quickly slice up our shrooms and get them sauteed. I'm just gonna move this over to my slower burner carefully. Ooh. I'm gonna get this guy heated up. I'm gonna do like strips. You can cut them as you wish, of course. I am not a no oil girl, but I do have this like spray oil, which kind of keeps it a little lighter, I suppose. So let's get those onto here. Now these red peppers will cook really fast, so I'm gonna put them on just at the last minute. Test this for me. Oh, that's heavy. Let's kill the heat here. Taste test our sauce. Add some pepper. Are you ready for the secret ingredient? It's nutmeg. A tiny, tiny, tiny bit of nutmeg. Don't overdo this, it's gonna taste like dessert. This is literally how much I'm going to add in. Wow, that's good, it's perfect. When you store your Alfredo sauce, make sure that you don't mix it with your cooked pasta and then put it in the fridge, because then the pasta is gonna suck up all that Alfredo sauce, and when you go to eat some more and reheat it, you're gonna be like, where did all the sauce go? The pasta will absorb it all, so keep it separate, and it reheats really, really nicely. Over the 10 years that I have been eating way more plants, I have tried many Alfredo recipes. Let me tell you, as a girl who, like, that used to be my dish, that used to be my favorite food, anything kind of like creamy, noodly, mushroomy. Give me a side of garlic bread, a nice, super garlicky Caesar salad, and some wine, and so even just running my wooden spoon through the sauce, I mean, you can already tell how much creamier it is, but it's not like thick and like pasty like a lot of the vegan sauces I see online. The reason why I made this quantity of Alfredo sauce is because it is the perfect amount for a pound of pasta, which is like typically a package of pasta. This is pretty much done. And so much so that I'm just, you can kill the heat, you can keep it going. It's gonna continue to thicken up. And in the meantime, see, if I wasn't like talking to you, I could be doing this faster, but thank you for coming into my kitchen with me and making this delicious, creamy Alfredo sauce with these beautiful shrooms. And what I just cannot resist is tarragon. So the story with tarragon, oh man, I really wish you could smell this. It's kind of this anisey flavor, like black licorice anise. How do the beauty people do this? Is that how you do it? There you go. You kind of see the shape. This is my favorite herb. I worked at this fancy hotel once for many years, and I was on the environmental committee with this chef. He was asking me about what I like to eat, and I mean, I like to eat a lot of things. He was asking me about a bunch of different food and all the like non-fancy food, you know, like he's a fancy chef, but he also loves his Kraft mac and cheese. What was it called? Kraft dinner. In Canada, we call it Kraft dinner. In the United States, it's not called Kraft dinner. But I was in Canada at the time, so we were talking about Kraft dinner. And then he said that he adds mushrooms and tarragon to his craft dinner and I was like, what's tarragon? And he was all, oh my gosh, you've never had tarragon before? You've got to try it. So I tried it, and his name was Michael. So thank you, Chef Michael, for introducing me to the best herb, because you're right, tarragon is the best. Now, I'm not going to add this to the sauce because I like it fresh, and I'm just going to add it to our final dish. Are you ready? We also got this beautiful lemon. I am going to add a little bit of this to our sauce, just to give it a tiny bit of brightness, not a lot at all. It actually looks so cheesy. We've got this. We have our pasta. I like it saucy, so let's make it saucy. Let's add a little bit more. Oh boy, I'm making a mess. Oh my. Holy moly.